Okay, so let's see how long it takes. Some of it I think is a little bit of a delay, just like a general delay from streaming. And of course, I'm going through StreamYard and then going through YouTube. But sometimes I think it's like a camera issue and the camera just doesn't want to click on. I don't know what causes the screen to remain blank at the beginning of the video. But hey, guess what? It's running right now, so I can be starting the video proper. So here we are again with another Mcfarlane DC Multiverse unboxing. This is from the Page Punchers line from DC Direct, because Mcfarlane bought DC Direct. I don't know how good it's going to do him if he doesn't have the DC license. But hey, maybe that's some kind of loophole he can exploit and make us some more figures, huh? Anyway, so this is Miss Martian. And as you can see, she is one of those red Platinum Edition figures. And I have no idea what that means. I don't know. I'm so confused at this point as to like, what a Platinum Edition is, or a red Platinum Edition, or a gold Platinum Edition, or a puce Platinum Edition. I don't know, man. There's so many. If somebody knows, let me know in the chat, or if you're watching this in the replay and let me know in the comments, because I am genuinely ignorant of what exactly it is. So please do let me know. So this figure does reuse a lot of parts from Supergirl, and I believe it is entirely the same figure from the collar down. She has a separate collar piece. She's got a new head, and other than that, I think she reuses most of Supergirl, but that's appropriate because, she's a teenage girl in a little superhero outfit with a skirt, and, that's going to be, that's basically a Supergirl outfit. So, like, this character has a little bit of an interesting history because she was originally just kind of introduced as, like, a one-panel gag in Teen Titans. They just kind of wanted to have like I guess characters trying out for the Teen Titans, if I remember correctly, and she was one of them. They just kind of stuffed her in there, and for whatever reason, this is a character that wound up catching on with the fans just from that one panel appearance, and I think it has a lot to do. It has to be, can't really be anything else, right? It's got a lot to do with the design, and this was just a great design that they nailed right out of the gate. You take the Martian Manhunter and you do like a female counterpart to him. Like, Superman has Supergirl, Batman has Batgirl. Well, the Martian Manhunter now has Miss Martian, and it's a cute design. Like, it's got elements of the animated series version of Supergirl with the white T-shirt and the little white gloves, and it also reminded me a lot at the time of Sailor Moon. Like, it seemed like almost like a little bit of a cross between John Jones and Sailor Moon. And that was a very popular show, like when I was a younger man. My sisters were big fans of it, and so I got to see plenty of Sailor Moon because they were watching it. I was out of that age demographic by then, but they were watching it, so I still saw the show. But anyway, so she just popped up for this one panel, and the fans went nuts for her. Said, "Ooh, we need to see more of Miss Martian," and that was not the plan at all. So they had to come up with a character to build around this design. It wasn't like, hey, I've got a good idea for a character, and then let's talk to the artist and see if he can come up with a good design. Here's some ideas as to what I think she might look like. No, it was very much the reverse of that. Like, they have a design, like, well, now we have to build a character around it. And I think they built a pretty interesting character around it. For one thing, Miss Martian is a white Martian. That's unique. And honestly, like maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm just weird. I did not ever really care for the idea that the entire race of white Martians were just evil creatures. Like, like some humans are evil and some humans are good. And it stands to reason that some white Martians might actually be good. So here we finally had a heroic white Martian character, and I thought that was neat. I probably don't want to get too much into the character stuff because I wind up repeating stuff that's on the trading cards sometimes. So we'll go ahead and get her open. She does come with a comic book, which is an issue of Teen Titans Reborn. And notice how the R in the Reborn has a little bit of a shape like the R that's on Robin's chest. So that's kind of an interesting touch. And here we see Miss Martian. I think that was the first time she was ever on a cover, I believe. We got a bunch of other characters on here too. Man, it's been a while since I've read this run. So these two guys, I don't even remember them. I don't even recognize them. This red devil looking dude and this guy in the chainmail shirt. Who are they? I have no idea. But we've got Wonder Girl. That's this Cassie Sandsmark version of Wonder Girl. We got Cyborg, and we got Ravager, and we got Raven, and we have Miss Martian, and of course Tim Drake in the 1 year later costume, the one that Raheem recommended that I review. So I'm gonna have to try to get I'm gonna have to try to get one of those one day because I think I would like to talk about that figure. So anyway, let's go ahead and get her open. I've got these big old, just high-powered scissors here, and they are cutting through this thing like a hot knife through melted butter. So that's nice. And it doesn't look like she comes with any accessories at all. It would have been nice if she'd have come with some of the extra hands that Supergirl came with, but you know, I don't know if they're 100% necessary. I think I'm fine with just the. She's got 2 fist hands on there. I think I'm fine with that. So again, just trimming up the side here. I don't have to cut it all the way down there. I can just cut it just enough that I can peel her open at the bottom. And then there's a bubble in here with the comic book in it. And it seems like it's wedged under there good. Maybe I should have opened it all the way. Okay, I'm just going to pull the comic book out like this. And mind, the comic book is already kind of damaged just in the package. It's got like a little bit of a bent corner there, you can see. Sean Franklin is here, and he says hi. Hi, Sean Franklin. Welcome to the show. Always a pleasure to see you. And I'm not going to read the whole comic book here, of course, because it's going to be way too long. So I'm just kind of flipping through it. It's got some nice artwork. Very much of a Jim Lee influence on this particular artist. Who is Paco Diaz and Ryan Benjamin. So there's 2 different artists. So I'm guessing Paco Diaz is the one who does the earlier pages in the story, the less Jim Lee looking pages in the story. And then this is like, that's like such a Jim Lee. The cross hatching and everything. Yeah. So Titans together. Always nice to see that catchphrase in there. Ravager kicking some ass, and this villain they're fighting. This almost looks like a female Captain Atom character. I'm guessing it is a female type Captain Atom character. She says, "You're so stupid, Ravager. I'm pure quantum energy under this shell. You rupture my skin and I'll detonate like a nuclear bomb. Everyone within 50 miles, including you, will be incinerated." And then Robin says, "Hold your ground." And Miss Martian says, "Oh, we don't have to do that, Robin. I just read her mind." And then Wonder Girl says, "And?" Miss Martian says, "She's totally lying." And then I think it's Starfire says, "I like the green girl." So yeah, I don't know who this metallic character is, but like I said, she's obviously supposed to be like at least pretending to be a female type Captain Atom character. And then we have the Diana Prince in her secret agent mode there. I always liked her in her secret agent outfit. That was nice. Kid Devil, that was that character's name. It's been so long since I read. Oh, and Sergeant Steel is over here. That's cool. I don't see Sergeant Steel that often these days. So Cyborg says, "That's Miss Martian, Sarge. She's a Teen Titan, along with Raven and Jericho." And then Miss Martian says, "Me? I have the secrets, but I thought I have the secrets and the thoughts you'll think when I tell you, I don't want to hurt your feelings again. I don't want to be hated. We know what her secret is. But yeah, like they tend to be kind of racist towards the white Martians. And I guess that's because, most white Martians that we meet are bad guys. But, that doesn't mean that at least one white Martian, maybe more, could be good guys. Sean Franklin says, have you seen Masters of the Universe? Yes, I have, Sean, and I loved it. I very much enjoyed the movie. And I'm looking forward to having it to watch again on streaming. And I'm definitely going to buy the Blu-ray. Was very excited about it. If you go back and you watch Battle Cat, my unboxing of the Masters Universe Chronicles Battle Cat figure, that was the first video that I made after I saw Masters of the Universe. And I've talked about it a few times since. But yeah, great movie. I loved it. So there we got the figure stand with a white DC logo embossed onto it. Here's a trading card with a lovely little picture of Miss Martian. Isn't that cute? They're sitting on looks like the surface of Mars. Yeah, that's a nice picture. And here's the back. And it says, Page Punchers, Miss Martian, real name Megan Morse. Just like John Jones, she got what sounds like an English name when you pronounce it phonetically. But yeah, that was one of the running gags. That's why I put it in the title. One of the running gags on the Young Justice cartoon, and she would, like, as kind of her expression when she does something that, she's like, hello, Megan, that sort of thing. And she got that from a television show that she watched it, and she could identify with the female teenage lead on it, which is she based her own visual identity around. And the character with the same name as her, and felt like her. That's what she felt like. She could identify with this character, and there you go. Real name Megan Morse. As Titans around the world reaches a climax, a Teen Titan returns. Raven's ultimate goal comes to fruition. But what does it mean for the future of the team? And who has been pulling the strings from the very beginning? So it tells us nothing about this character at all. So yeah, she was basically a white Martian who basically became the protege of the Martian Manhunter, I guess you could say. And she joined the Teen Titans. And like I said, even though she was like, what to our eyes would be this hideous monster with her shape-shifting powers, she was able to become something that felt a little more like her and looked a little more cute. I don't mean to say you're hideous, girl. That's just your natural form. And it's not the real you anyway, because this is the real you, isn't it? This is the form that you chose for yourself, and this is the form that I shall respect. Let's go ahead and get these rubber tabs off of here, and we can get Megan out of the package. And like I said, this is always, I thought, a very cute design. They did a very nice job with it. And, making it from the Supergirl parts, again, makes sense. And, oh, praise the Lord, she has a wired cape. Thank God. At this point, I wasn't even expecting her to have a wired cape. At this point, I've just had my heart broken so many times. And she does have a bicep swivel, but the arm is so flush here, and that's a good thing on the Supergirl figure. And it's not necessarily on it's not really necessary, I should say, on Miss Martian. But I was almost thinking that there wasn't even a bicep swivel there, because see the way her sleeve works, it kind of hides it. It does a really good job of hiding it, honestly. So she's got this extra collar piece, which I can't tell if that's let me try to pull her head off. I can't tell if this extra collar piece, I think it's part of the neck. So I think she has a completely different neck piece from what Supergirl has. And obviously a different head. And I think they probably could have done a little bit of a better job with her hair. Her hair just kind of hangs there, kind of lank. It'd be nice if it had a little more body to it, a little more of a sense of motion to it. I think would have made it a lot better. And also the way her makeup is done, I think they maybe her lip color is it is a different color from the rest of her skin, but it's maybe just like a little bit too similar, even though technically it is a different color. It's not quite close enough to being the same color. And she's got red eyes. So help me God, red eyes. And like John Jones often has red eyes. We've got John right here, so we can compare. See his red eyes. And there she is with the Martian Manhunter. There's Megan and John. All right. So and then like I said, this is from the neck down, it uses a lot of the same excuse me, all of the same parts that Supergirl had. So the X on her chest, it's not a sculpted harness like it is on John. It's not a separate piece. It's just kind of painted on there, and she's got the Silver Age Supergirl belt, which works quite well for her. Her belt is close enough to Supergirl's belt anyway. And then I don't know if I mentioned this with Supergirl, that the legs are kind of plain. The boots were just kind of painted onto that one, and likewise they're just kind of painted onto this one. Al Davis is here. It says hello, hello everyone in chat, and afternoon, dude. Afternoon to you too. I hope you're doing well today. I'm getting this video done, and I'm not sure. I'm supposed to go into work today, but I'm not going to the place that I've been going to on Sundays. So they're sending me somewhere else, and they don't even know where they're sending me yet. They might not send me anywhere. I might wind up accidentally having the night off. Who knows? Be the first time in a while I've had a night off. So honestly, I don't think I'd complain too much, but I really could use the extra money. So I'll just go with whatever, I guess. But yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, to me, it always kind of reminded me of Sailor Moon. And I'm not sure if Sailor Moon was ever really an influence on it. But it also reminds me a lot of the costume that Supergirl wore on the animated series, the Kara NZ version of Supergirl. So with the white t-shirt and the white gloves. So even if they don't make that version of Supergirl into a figure, which I would like them to make that version of Supergirl into a figure, this one does kind of scratch that itch for me in an odd sort of way, even though it's a completely different character. Her costume has a very similar aesthetic to it, and I feel like it at least kind of acknowledges that costume somewhat in my collection, even if I don't have that Supergirl costume proper in an action figure form. So that's nice. I do like that. I like the colors on it. It's got a nice. It doesn't match up with Martian Manhunter exactly, but I don't know if that's really necessary. But you can see the blue is very similar, but not quite. It's just like a little bit different, maybe a little bit more vibrant and a little darker at the same time. And then we have the skin color actually matches up a lot more than I would have expected. But it's still it's one of those where it's close, but it's not 100% the same. And I think that fits because these two characters are close, but not 100% the same. You know what I mean? Like she's trying to copy her mentor, but she's not quite getting it 100%. You know, she's getting about 99%. So that's interesting. I don't think they did that on purpose when they designed it. It's just a happy accident, I think. But she does look very nice. I like the way all the colors come together. Like I said, I think they probably could have done a better job with her hair. And her hair is glued on. I kind of figured her hair would be glued on, but I wanted to check. I figured there was a possibility, you know, thinking about the Supergirl figures from the other day, I was thinking about the possibility that maybe her hair might be a removable piece as well, and then you could swap other hair pieces onto her if you wanted, but that does not seem to be the case. So yeah, my nitpicks with the figure is I think the hair could have a little more of a little more body to it and a little more of a sense of motion, and I think that that her lips could have been a slightly better color than this. I don't know what color, but better than this. I think they could have done a better job. So she's got green lips on that artwork, and I don't remember what shade of lips she had. It's kind of hard to tell on the cover, but it looks like she's got some dark green lips on the cover. I don't know if I go to, yeah, it looks like she has green lips in the comic. If I went too dark, then she'd look a little too goth, you know. And I don't mean, you know, I love goth girls. I'm not trying to talk smack about goth girls, but that doesn't really fit Megan's personality, you know. She's a little more perky. Yeah, I know some goths can be perky, and honestly, that's my favorite kind of goth. I'm just saying. But you know, there's a fine line, and I think that's part of why they didn't quite get it here. There's a fine line on what color of green you can give this figure. So I might try to repaint her lips a little bit. I don't know yet, but I don't think they're necessarily bad. I just think that there could be like a little more contrast one way or the other. Maybe they should have given her lighter skin. Maybe that would have helped. I don't know, but personally, I really like this shade of green for her skin color. So I don't know if I would have recommended that, honestly. So let's go ahead and talk about her articulation. Megan can look up about that far, look down about that far, tilt her head kind of quizzically from side to side, rotate the head all the way around, and then the arms rotate all around the shoulders. She's got those butterfly joints, so those wiggle all around like that. The arms raise up to the sides about that far. She's got double jointed elbows. That's about the range of motion you get at the elbows. She's got that great Mcfarlane wrist articulation, which can move around any which way we want to. Very cool, very sweet. Love that Mcfarlane wrist articulation. Glad that Mattel is ripping it off for their Masters of the Universe Chronicles figures. That gives me hope for when they do their adult collectible figures later on down the line for DC. She can move from side to side at the torso like that. And then, of course, back and forth at the torso like so. And then she rotates all the way around where the rib cage meets the abs, and rotates all the way around where the abs meet the belt. And then Megan can kick up about that far. And like with the Supergirl figure we already discussed, there's a little bit of a split, a little bit of a hidden seam there. So when the leg is down, you can see that that is not visible. But when the leg kicks up, then we start to see it. And that gives her a better range of motion at the legs, which I appreciate. I always like to have a good range of motion really anywhere. Megan can do the splits, no problem. There we go. And her leg kicks back about that far. Not too much of a wobble here. We talked about that with Supergirl. It doesn't seem to have much of a wobble at all. Megan's got double jointed knees. That's about the range of motion we get at the knees. And then she's got the cool Mcfarlane ankle articulation, which can just move, rotates all the way around where the ankle meets the shin, rotates all the way around where the foot meets the ankle. And then the foot, if I can get it back in shape, the foot can point down about that far, and the foot can point up about that far. And then she's got toe articulation just to show off. So there we go. That is the articulation on our Megan Morse, our Miss Martian action figure, and they did a great job with her. So this is a fun character, and I always really liked her in the comic book, but I really feel like she came into her own on the Young Justice animated series, where she was voiced by the lovely and talented and brilliant Danica McKellar, who folks my age, us in the Generation X and the older millennials. If you remember a little show called The Wonder Years, she played Winnie Cooper, where she was every young boy's adolescent crush. She was certainly mine at the time. And, you know, it's always nice when your adolescent crush grows up and becomes your adult crush later on. And Al Davis remembers she was on How I Met Your Mother. She was Trudy. She was Trudy from the pineapple incident and the tricycle. Yeah, he knew where I was going. What about the pineapple? Funny thing is, I'm sure you've seen it. There's a deleted scene where they explain where the pineapple came from. And I think they left it out because they like having the mystery, but I'm accepting it as canon. In my opinion, in my mind, that's where the pineapple came from. That mystery, in my mind, is solved. But of course, since like I said, it's a deleted scene, that means it's not really canon. So you don't really have to accept it if you don't want to. So maybe that's not where the pineapple came. I don't even want to say it in the video. You can find the deleted scene on your own if you want to, if you haven't seen it. But yeah, they do explain where the pineapple came from. It didn't make it into the final show. So, but yeah, like I would have liked to have seen Trudy. I would have liked to have Trudy hung around for a few more episodes. But the more Danica McKellar, the better. And in addition to being an actress, she's also like a math whiz and wrote several books on math for younger people to help them out with their math. And she thinks math is fun because she's so freaking smart. And and she makes an effort to make math fun through those books. So when I say that I appreciate her because she's brilliant, I'm not just talking about she's a good actress. I'm talking about the lady's actually got it going on upstairs, and I definitely respect that. Al Davis says, I have most of How I Met Your Mother on DVD. Love the deleted scenes and the commentaries. Mayim Bialik, he says, is a super smart lady too. Yeah, she's like a biochemist, I think. She gave up acting to be a biochemist, and she actually like had a really great career going as a biochemist. And then they asked her to be on Big Bang Theory, and then she started up her acting career again. So, but yeah, she's pretty brilliant. So, but yeah, I kind of feel like a lot of the personality of this character that I really like, and I did like her in the comic book. But I kind of feel like the Young Justice version of the character was where everything really came together, and I really became a fan of hers. And she goes through an arc. She goes through some pretty dark stuff. She starts out as like this sweet, perky character, and then she gets kind of dark. And then you're worrying, is she going to be able to pull herself back from that edge and become the sweet girl that we used to know? And honestly, as much as I love that sweet girl, maybe she shouldn't. Maybe she should grow up like we all grow up. And she can still have that part of herself that's that sweet girl on the inside, but maybe it's tempered with a little bit more maturity and a little bit more wisdom. But I think that when it comes down to it, despite being, a white Martian, which is thought to be a villain race in the DC universe, despite her natural appearance, which is quite fearsome to the human eye, I kind of feel like the true soul of Megan Morse is a very good person, and that manifests herself in this appearance, which is the appearance that she chose for herself. This might not be her biological default position, but it is her true appearance, I think. Al says, agreed, made her a bit more of an individual, similar to Supergirl or Superman, female version of a male hero, both branched out in the animations. Exactly. So yeah, when I think of Megan, I tend to think of the Young Justice version. And again, not to cast any aspersions on the comic book version, who was good. They did a good job with her in the comic book, but I feel like the animated version managed to just kind of polish the character and hone her into being a much better character than she would have been otherwise. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this episode, which I really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed it too, talking about this character that I'm a fan of. And I don't know what I'm going to open next, because we still got like some more DC stuff to open up next. We still got some more Masters of the Universe stuff to open. I got a whole bunch of monster stuff. At this point, the monster stuff, I'm almost thinking maybe I should just save it for October. Like we're almost through June now, and in the blink of an eye, it'll be at the end of August, and I've still got a lot of stuff to open. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be a good idea if maybe I'll just hold on to the monster items that I got a lot of cool monster stuff. Just wait till you see. Got Dracula and Frankenstein and werewolves and all kinds of gruesome creatures to be opening up for you. Lots of cool stuff. I've still got the Crimson Moon figures to open up. I need to open up those Crimson Moon figures. I still got a lot more DC stuff to open up. I know I got Saturn Girl, and I've got Guardian, and a few other various DC characters that I can be opening. Hell, I've still got this guy, the one of my filaments fell underneath. I got stacks of filaments over here. Still got this guy to open up, the Platinum Joker. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to actually do a video for this or not. The Sky Escape Joker homage. So if you're watching this in the replay, if you've made it this far into the replay, leave a comment and let me know if you want to see me open up this figure. So I've asked before if anybody wants to see me open this figure, and nobody said anything. So if I don't get any comments on this video in the replay that tell me, yes, I want to see you open that figure, I'm just going to open it on my own, because I already talked about this figure with basically the same figure when I talked about the regular edition. So it'd be covering a lot of the same ground. That's why I like to open up the Platinum editions with the regular editions. But when I had that one, I figured I'd never get the Platinum edition of this figure. And oddly enough, now I have 3 of them. So that's another story to tell. Al Davis says, I'm in the middle of watching High Seas, wink, wink, version of Motu. I think it's Russian. Love the film. Very rewatchable. Well, you know, I hope you got a chance. You did see it in the theaters, right? I'm pretty sure you said you saw it in the theaters. Because that's not the optimal way to watch that movie. I don't blame you for wanting to watch it again, but it's not the optimal way to watch that movie. Yeah, Sean Franklin was just asking. I don't know if Sean Franklin's still in the chat, but he was just asking about that earlier. And yeah, I did love that movie. And I am looking forward to having it in a digital edition. Yes, he paid first. Well, that's good. That's good. But more than that, even like you know, that's a movie that deserves to be appreciated on the big screen. I kind of feel like a lot of these people that wait for the streaming, I think, are going to regret it when they see it and be like, man, I should have watched this in the theater. Kind of like how I was with Sinners, where like I wanted to go see Sinners in the theaters and just never got around to it. And then when I saw Sinners on TV, and it was a great movie, I was like, man, I wish I had seen this in the theater, because it would have been a great theater experience. Not just because, you know, visually it was a stunning movie, but the music, man, the music was so great in that movie. All the great blues music, man, I would have loved to sit in the theater and just been surrounded by it. So, and Top Gun Maverick, that's another one of those. There you go. So anyway, I think that's it for Megan. I think we've said everything we need to say about her. So that's going to be it for this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. Next episode, I'll be back with something. I haven't decided what yet, but we'll open something up. You know, I've always got something to open up. I've got like big stacks of stuff, a lot of stuff that I buy on clearance. That's like how I get a lot of this stuff, is I wait for it to go on clearance. That's why I'll do a review like long after something's come out. Like if I got something that I pre-ordered and I'm really excited about it, then I try to open that as soon as possible. Not even usually able to do that, but but the Mattel Batmobile, yeah, I've still got that to open up. I'm not sure about the logistics of it. I might have to go into the dining room and open it up, because it is a big old thing, and we want room to talk about it. So I'd probably want to set up on the dining room table, and if I do that, I don't want to set up on the dining room table at a time when nobody is around, because I don't want anybody to come in there and be expected to eat their food, and I'm sitting here shooting a video and I'm keeping them from eating. I don't want to do that. And also, you know, noise and things like that. It's I'm gonna have to open that at a very specific time, I think. So I don't know if that's gonna be next or not. It's just gonna happen when it happens. I have no control over it. It's in the hands of God. It's in the hands of the fates. It's in the hands of the universe. Whatever you want to call it. God, the universe, fate, whatever makes Sam Beckett leap through time. Whatever you want to call it. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about Megan Morse, Miss Martian. And I think they did a great job with this figure, and I'm especially happy that they had a wired cape. Thanks for giving us a wired cape again, Todd. Like, Thanks for doing the thing you should have been doing all along. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.